story to tell. Most African countries do not have combat aircraft forces, but there are still rich countries in the Black Continent willing to invest in these expensive forces. Military Watch magazine has identified 5 of Africa's most formidable air forces. The first is the Algerian Air Force, one of the countries with the largest fleet in Africa. The Algerian Air Force is equipped with modern weapons and equipment and has a high level of personnel training in a way that no other air force on the continent can. The backbone of the squadron consists of about 45 Su-30 MKA heavy fighters, an advanced 4+ generation version of the Su-30 family. Su-30 MKA is equipped with powerful sensors, impressive flight performance, and the ability to hit any targets with a diverse arsenal. The Su-30 fighters are supported by 4 small tactical squadrons, including MiG-29S fighters. The aircraft are equipped with state-of-the-art weapons, including R-27ER and R-77 long-range air-to-air missiles, in which the Su-30 can deploy KH-31 Mark II cruise missiles. Algeria also deploys the largest squadron of dedicated attack fighters in Africa, with 36 Su-24Ms. In the role of air superiority, Algeria also deploys a fleet of 15 MiG-25 PDS Foxbat interceptors, considered the most modern variant with advanced 4th-generation sensors, avionics aviation, and electronic warfare systems. The MiG-25 is the heaviest combat jet in Africa and the fastest in the world, and is capable of operating at extremely altitudes and at Mach 3.2 speeds. The most notable weakness of the Algerian Air Force is the lack of airborne early warning and control aircraft. To improve, it can buy KJ-500 or some similar modern vehicles, combined with a formidable fleet of helicopters and the densest and most modern air defense network on the continent. The Algerian Air Force is a powerful force in Africa. The second is the Egyptian Air Force, the largest in Africa to date. Egypt has invested heavily in modernizing its armed forces since a new military government came to power in 2013. Although in quantity, it still lacks some of its competitors. The Egyptian Air Force currently has about 18 fighter squadrons, although only one is equipped with modern long-range air-to-air missiles, including recently ordered MiG-29M jets. There are 9 squadrons, including F-16 Fighting Falcon A and C. Due to US sanctions, Egypt's F-16 lacks modern equipment such as air-to-air missiles. they have to depend on obsolete AIM-7 Sparrow missiles with very limited range. The other 7 squadrons, including MiG-21 and J-7 fighters, which upgraded to third-generation standards, but are still very outdated by today's standards. Aside from the MiG-29M, Egypt's most capable fighters are 17 Mirage 2000 and 24 Rafales. Although the Rafale has powerful sensors, it is not equipped with modern Meteor or SCALP missiles, which severely limits the aircraft's performance. Egypt, on the other hand, relies on the Mirage 5 from the 1960s for the air-to-ground role. Egypt's air capabilities are expected to improve dramatically over the next decade, with the F-16 being replaced by modern light or medium jets such as the JF-17 Block 3 or the MiG-35. Egypt has ordered a squadron of Su-35, along with an advanced air defense network, including the S-300 V4 system and a squadron of attack helicopters, including the AH-64 Apache and Ka-52 Alligator. Egypt is also the only country in Africa to deploy a modern airborne early warning and control aircraft, E-2 Hawkeye. The third most powerful Air Force is Angola. The Angolan Air Force has long been considered the most capable in sub-Saharan Africa and was built up as a formidable force in the 1980s with Cuban, North Korean, Soviet, and East German support to fight the US allied and strongly Israeli-backed South African apartheid state. The MiG-23 square-wing fighters formerly formed the bulk of the fleet and were piloted by Cuban volunteers. Their performance against South African air units was arguably the best in the MiG-23's history. A single MiG-23 squadron of approximately 28 fighters remains in service, alongside one MiG-21Bs and one Su-22 squadron, providing 3 units of modernized third-generation aircraft. The elite of the Angolan Air Force is provided by 12 Su-30 fighters, which have recently been upgraded in Belarus to a 4+ generation standard. These are backed by approximately half a dozen Su-27 heavyweight air superiority fighters. Angola is speculated to have equipped its Su-30 fighters and possibly its Su-27s with R-77 active radar-guided missiles, although this has not yet been confirmed. It otherwise deploys an unknown number of heavy Su-24 strike fighters, a single squadron of Su-25 attack jets, and 2 squadrons of Mi-24, Mi-35 attack helicopters, providing it with more firepower than any other fleet in southern Africa. In 4th place is Ethiopia. Like the Angolan Air Force, the Ethiopian Air Force was built up rapidly at a time of war, in this case with Eritrea in the 1990s, to provide air strikes and reconnaissance over its smaller neighbor and to engage enemy fighters if needed. Also like Angola, Ethiopian aircraft were initially flown by foreign pilots, contractors from the former Soviet Union, although they have since been phased out in favor of local pilots. Ethiopia previously relied on Soviet MiG-23 jets to form the bulk of its fleet, and a single squadron of around 8 fighters is currently in service. The MiG-23 is primarily located an air-to-ground drone today and serves alongside an unknown number of Su-25 attack jets. The bulk of the Ethiopian fleet is comprised of Su-27 heavyweight air superiority fighters, of which an estimated 12 to 16 are in service. The fighters were by far the most capable in Africa when first purchased to counter Eritrea's MiG-29s, and shot down 4 MiGs for known losses during the war between the two countries. This makes the Ethiopian Air Force the only one to operate the Su-27 in air-to-air combat. Some Ethiopian sources have indicated that the country's Su-27 fleet has recently been upgraded with new electronic warfare systems and R-27ER missiles for a longer engagement range. Ethiopia also deploys 18 Mi-24 35 attack helicopters, and its air defenses have continued to be modernized with new Russian armaments. Fifth place is Morocco. The Moroccan Air Force infantry is primarily based on the requirements of ongoing conflict in Western Sahara and the need to provide basic defense against the much larger forces of neighboring Algeria. Morocco is the only African state provided access to modern American air-launched weaponry, and the backbone of its fighter fleet is formed by around 23 F-16C Fighting Falcon lightweight fighters, equipped with AIM-120C7 air-to-air missiles. The difference in weaponry and subsystems makes Moroccan F-16s far more capable than their counterparts in Egyptian service. And other than Egypt's recently acquired Rafale jets, the Moroccan Fighting Falcons are the most capable Western fighters in Africa. The AIM-120C7's capabilities are still beneath those of Algeria R-77 and R-27ER, however, both of which outrank them and carry heavier payloads. The F-16s can also notably deploy AGM-88B HARM standoff air-to-ground missiles, which are quite potent against air defense and radar sights. The remainder of the Moroccan fleet is comprised of aging third-generation designs, including the F-5E Tiger II, of which 22 are in service, and 26 Mirage F-1 jets. Morocco's Mirage are considered the most capable in the world, and have been enhanced to deploy Mika missiles, providing a limited beyond visual range air-to-air capability still far superior to that of Egypt F-16s or to any of the MiG-23 variants on the continent. Ground-based air defense remains a notable weakness of Moroccan forces, as there's close air support. And while the country has considered acquiring S-400 air defense systems from Russia, Western political pressure is likely to prevent such a deal. My video about the 5 most powerful air forces in Africa ends here. Thank you for watching. If you find this video interesting, please give me your thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to support the channel. Goodbye and see you again in the next videos.